Hello everyone, this is Sapphire Witch, and I'm sorry that it's been a week or so since I've done a video, but I just lost my familiar, my cat Nala, last Sunday, so it's been about a week, and it's been extremely hard for me. So in this segment I'm going to talk about familiars and my bond between me and Nala. And so, because it seems like a lot of people don't understand what a familiar is, and what I've noticed a lot is that a lot of people think that every animal they own is their familiar, which is untrue. It's highly unlikely, I should say. Anyways, so the definition of a familiar is a physical or astral creature that has a psychic bond with a witch. So, and what I mean that not every animal is a familiar is like I have my cat Jackson, and I have my hamster McQueen. We don't actually have a bond other than the fact that they're my pet and I'm their owner, you know, their mommy or whatever. Sorry, there is something in my eye. So like I said, just they're pets to me. I mean, yes, I talk to them, but you know, they don't really respond. Jackson will scold me when I come home because he doesn't like being home alone anymore. So he'll scold me when I get home saying, "Mommy, you're grounded because you were gone too long." But as far as my bond between me and Nala is that she always knew when I was upset. She always knew. She knew when something was wrong. She knew before I started crying that I was going to cry. She knew when I needed to be cuddled with. She knew when I needed someone to talk to. She just automatically knew. Not only that, but when we talk, which sounds really ridiculous, but I could have a full conversation with her. Yes, the only thing is that when I asked her questions, they could only be yes or no questions, because what I noticed is when I asked her a question, when it was a yes or no question, yes would be she would move her tail once, and no would be she'd move her tail twice. And that's how we communicated. And so I've only had her she's only 4 years old. I only had her for 3 of those years because I adopted her from an animal sanctuary. And I'll start at the beginning. I went to the animal sanctuary when I was 18. So when I went to the animal sanctuary, I was originally looking for a long-haired cat. I wanted a big fluffy cat because I thought, you know, they're so fluffy, you know. It's so fluffy. This is before Despicable Me came out, but yeah, I wanted a fluffy cat to pet and all that stuff. So they let out about 7 different long-haired cats, and they were just like, I'm gonna go play with the toys. I don't care about you. So they would go off in the little play area, and they didn't have anything to do with me. Now, whereas Nala, which at the time she's named JC, she was freaking out in her cage. She was just, you know, spazzing out, screaming her head off. She's like, let me out, let me out. So they let her out of the cage, and as soon as she got out of that cage, she bolted into my lap and just started purring instantly, you know, and that's when I knew she was the one I wanted to take home. So the next day I picked her up and brought her home, and then I wrote out on note cards the names that I liked, and she picked out the name she liked. And so I laid out the note cards on the floor, and she laid down on the one that she liked, and she picked Nala. So that's how her name came to be. She got to pick her own. And so, and from then on, she was always there for me. I mean, most of you know that I suffer from depression, and so Nala was kind of she was the one I came home to because I lived alone at the time, so she was always the one I came home to. She always waited by the door for me. She was just always there for me. And she helped me through a lot, and she joined me in rituals often. She would always be there, you know, either sitting in the chair that I'm sitting in right now, or she'd jump up, like she would jump up on the table, which a lot of people would probably complain about that, but my altar is big enough for her to sit there and help me. So, that's how I'd explain a familiar. You have an extremely special bond with them. It isn't just an animal. It's kind of like it's like a kindred spirit, I guess you could say, someone that it's just, I don't know, it's like, they're like, Nala was a part of me, honestly, and I loved her to death, and having her die so soon really upset me. If most of you don't know, she died from liver failure. She was only 4 years old, so it was a little difficult. I took her to the vet, and they told me she had liver failure and there was nothing that they could do because she only had 30% of her liver functions left. And I just started bawling there. And you know, it's kind of awkward because I had to walk around town and run errands and everything, and I'm just bawling the entire day. For 2 days straight I was just bawling because she's my best friend, you know. She's the only other person that I found that physically is here that understands me. Like, my parents don't really understand me. My family doesn't understand me. And I don't have many friends that really understand me. And she always cared, and she always understood me no matter what. Even though she was an animal, she cared. And so it was very difficult to lose her. And I'm going to start crying. So that's what a familiar is to me, is just an animal that's extremely special. And I miss her dearly, but I know that she will come back to me eventually. When she's done resting, and she'll come back and we'll get to be together again, because I believe in reincarnation. And I believe that animals reincarnate faster than humans. So I know I'll see her soon. She knows how to find me. Seems like she always seems to find me because I don't know, I always felt that there was a connection that Nala and I had. Like, I knew her before I had her as a pet. So yeah, what else? Oh, the day that she died, we spent the entire day together. Like, we cuddled in my bed and we watched Benji, which is her favorite movie, and we also watched Corpse Bride, which is also her favorite movie. So we cuddled, we watched movies, and she actually did die in my arms. So yeah, that was a little tragic to see her, but I mean, at least I spent the last, you know, moments with her. And burying her was the hardest thing I've ever done. And most people are probably going to yell at me and say, why are you so emotional over a cat? But you know, you won't understand, you know, because you didn't have that bond that I and Nala had. And Nala is the closest person to me, or closest animal. You know, I don't have any other people in my life that are as close to me as Nala was. And that's why I got all upset, and I'm about to cry right now. So I'm gonna wrap this video up before I start bawling. And yeah, but I just wanted to share that with you in memory of her. And I always think about her, if you notice, but right after she passed, I made this locket, and it has a little paw on it. And I put my favorite picture of Nala in it, so I always have her with me. And it's my favorite picture of her. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah. So, I don't know, but there you go. That's what a familiar is to me. And so, if you have familiar stories, share them with me. You know, video responses, or leave me a comment. I would love to hear all kinds of things. Or if you've lost an animal and you want to talk about it, I am completely and totally open to talking to people about, you know, their loss. I mean, I'm still going through the process right now, but I'm willing to help you, because, you know, that's what I'm here for. Anyways, I will see you tomorrow, because I'm going to start filming once a day this week, and I will explain tomorrow why. So you guys have a good day, and blessed be. Bye.